Hi Taurus, here's a general look at your solar chart for August 2012, and the focus is very much likely to be in and around a base of operations, whether you're at home or away, upon the neighbourhood, the locality, or maybe it's upon family matters in the past, and for some of you it can be to do with property, or space, inside, outside, and in some respects your gaze will tend to be a little bit more inward looking, and you may be pondering things, mulling things over, chewing the cud, and feeling things a little bit more deeply at times. And some of that old stuff, some of that baggage, that kind of the sort of nostalgia in some cases, or the acid reflux from the past, kind of coming up into your throat. But it will be easier for you to connect with yourself, with your feelings inwardly, and with your deeper knowing. And outwardly, much easier to connect with nature and the abundance of Mother Earth, the fruits of the earth, which is all your thing, Taurus. So that's going to be going on over that period there, and that's up until the 22nd. Discussions and ideas and maybe some differences of opinion from time to time could involve family, neighbourhood, a community, or a community over the wires as well, and conversations may be around property or the past, and in some respects again mulling things over, being closer to your feelings, feeling a bit more sensitive, and perhaps harking back to the past, getting a blast from the past even, and seeing parallels with the past in the present. There may be more contacts with parents for some of you, and others may be considering a legacy or tradition of some kind, you may find that another way it can work, because this is where Mercury is in this area here at the root of your solar chart, is that right in your own backyard there's a lot more chatting going on, whether that is over the garden fence, as it were, or from home down the wires. So activity, a lot of sort of mental activity and discussions, and feeling of socializing very much within your locality. Venus, your ruling planet, the planet of flow, has been in your piggyback bank sector, been there for quite a while, and hopefully you will have played your cards right and done quite well out of this, because Venus there responds very well if you, being a planet of attraction. So if you used the ability to manifest what you want, to envisage it and to manifest it using the law of attraction, you could have, that could have worked for you very well there. And then, but it could have worked for you very well even if you didn't do that, and use any kind of ploy or device. However, to be conscious with all of this is always a good idea, because Venus tends to open the gates to flow, and whether that flow is coming towards you or coming from you out through the gate is, for you to know and for you to regulate, shall we say. And then when Venus moves from the 8th, she goes into your communication sector, and this transit could favourably connect you with others or siblings, or those that you feel are soul brothers and sisters. And if you want to settle a feud or negotiate something, get a bargain, use media or promotional activities, you can be very, very persuasive with Venus here. Venus tends to bring grace and flow and fluency to your thinking and your speaking, or if you're anything in the arts as well. And it softens and makes what you are expressing from yourself, but also what you're receiving and hearing from others, seem more entertaining, or seem more plausible, or seem more reasonable. And some of you could have more access to entertainment and the arts as well, with Venus in here from the 8th onwards. You can also do well when negotiating, buying, selling, promoting, etc., and it will support your creative self-expression. Jupiter, a planet of expansion and potential abundance, I say potential because it's up to you to see that potential, will give you the chance to get things on a better footing materially, or with health, and that's your health or another's, or with use of your talents, Taurus, over the coming months, because that's a very, very long transit there with Jupiter. And then Mars is in an area of service in your solar chart up until the 24th. So there's you making yourself available for certain others in a very humble kind of a way, maybe, or making yourself available for certain duties and chores that you've got to do, which may be quite repetitive, but again, they've just got to be done. And Mars enters your close relationship area after the 24th, so then the emphasis shifts. But until the 24th, being of service or coordinating with service providers to you, or with colleagues that you work with who are doing a job, will tend to be emphasized and potentially can be productive, if a little tense at times, and that's the nature of Mars. With Mars in the area related to your work or daily duties or chores or health, yours or another's, there is a danger of a kind of conflict flaring up over techniques, or taking on too much, and therefore you do yourself in, you shoot yourself in the foot, you inflame things for yourself, because Mars is actually inflammatory when Mars is out of sync, or when Mars is when we're just learning a Mars lesson, because it doesn't have to be perfect. It can't be perfect, not in this dimension anyway. And then around mid-month, we have a slowing energy exerted by Saturn upon Mars in the sky, which is now in Libra. So Mars passes across Saturn, you see, and this is akin to the brakes being applied on your natural impulses. And your natural impulse to maybe get a break or see the fruits of your labours or whatever. So some may feel this energy as pressure or frustration, or maybe just a lowering of your energy, your vitality, for some reason. And I've just mentioned in the area I've just mentioned, but on the upside, it can give you a reality check. It can slow things down, steady things down, and help you to consolidate, help you to make improvements step by step, slowly and surely, in the future. But this is quite fleeting. It's only the few days around mid-month. And then from the 24th, personal, professional relationships are likely to become more lively, because if you are in relationship with someone, there may be more physical demands put upon you for whatever the reason. Perhaps one-to-one encounters get sizzlier in some cases, or even confrontational. Again, that's the nature of Mars. Someone will elicit a strong opinion from you, or a strong reaction from you, or another way it can work is you feel a strong pull towards someone, and you feel that they influence you strongly one way or the other, or indeed it can be the other way, somebody else feels a strong pull towards you. And again, whether you like this or you don't is for you to judge. Once again, patience may be needed, as Mars in this area of your solar chart can make you too hasty. You don't wait to listen. You just, react. Or another way it is throwing caution to the winds and jumping in with both feet, and then realizing later that maybe you shouldn't have done. Or maybe trying to cover too much ground too fast and making a full start. So this is in your personal or your professional life. So the advice would be to keep things on an even keel, harness that strong energy of Mars there. Don't dive in head first into a kind of business agreement, or if you're in a bargaining situation, or with someone in a sort of friendly or love relationship, until you are sure about somebody's intentions and capabilities. Overall, sharing with or teaming up with someone is very favoured, because you really do better teaming up with someone rather than going it alone. And that team that you make with someone, whether it is a series of people, it might be you're the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. It doesn't have to be just one person all the time, but it might be. So whoever it is, it can be beneficial and productive, if only it's for somebody to disagree with, so that you can actually crystallize what your own ideas are. So it's all good. And sometimes you'll have to slow down, as I said earlier, and understand things from their point of view. And that means, sort of being on the receiving end and listening. And others' feedback can be invaluable to you at this time. It may help you to be more effective and functional than if you were going it alone. But really, Mars here does put certain demands, because Mars is a very physical planet, so it will definitely make you feel more proactive and dynamic, and sort of almost like prod you into action, whatever that action is about. And from the 22nd, there's a creative, lighter, more outgoing, less emotional vibration around. And that's it for August. And if you, after a couple of blips and glitches, you should now find on my website what the slower moving outer planets are doing. And this should all be set against the background of what they're up to at the moment. And also, if you find the forecast for your rising sign or your moon sign here somewhere, that adds some more little bits that you can use to sort of get an idea of what might be coming up over the month of August. And I wish you well, and I'll see you the next time.